Ba 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 red.
Hey, is it fair to say that our government has gone extreme? They're extremists.
Yeah, they're extremists. You ain't lying.
They're the
Jesus
ones
fucking
causing all the
Christ.
shit.
The man has ovaries the size of footballs.
Good morning, America.
You look like you're getting ready to make a terrorist video.
Today on CNN, Ukraine blows up Russian tanks, killing 800 Russians. Celebrate in the streets with American weapons. Woo! Maybe the aliens are coming.
In my face.
Coming in your face.
Somebody that's like really deep, balls deep into the occult and could just be like, see that symbol right there on George Washington's forehead? That means I fuck children and they're a fucking pineal gland. That one might get us fucking killed. We got like 30 listeners or watchers on YouTube now, man. So one of them might be Hillary Clinton.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Today, August 15th, 2022, we come to you from Oregon and somewhere in the deep woods of Alabama. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to disinfobate all over your mama's face. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disinfobation! What's up, motherfucker?
That was awesome, dude. You just kind of went right for it. I wasn't expecting it to happen that fast, but here we are.
How's it been, bro? How's life been treason eating you?
Good, dude.
Let's get started, dude. China is coming at us with some insane COVID policies still. So I saw this article I thought was fucking hilarious because it's a CNN article. And it's like they're trying to say, well, look, it's not that bad here. It's like panic shoppers rush for exit at IKEA branch in Shanghai Saturday after city health authorities ordered the store to lock down after a close contact to COVID-19 case was traced to the location. Get this shit, dude. Multiple videos on social media show customers yelling and pushing each other in an attempt to escape the building before the doors closed. Bro, they were going to lock them in fucking IKEA, man. All right. Okay, so ask yourself how they know that someone in IKEA possibly had COVID. In a press briefing Sunday, Zhao Dadan, deputy director of Shanghai Health Commission, said store and affected area would be under closed loop management for 2 days. People inside the loop must undergo 2 days of quarantine at a government facility. Holy shit. And 5 days of health surveillance. So the way they track these people, right? I'll read this real
Well,
quick.
is that a stampede?
Yeah, dude. It's fucking bizarre. Look at this. They're trying to get out of there. Officials had just ordered the store to shut after a close contact to COVID-19. Bro, I'd be getting the fuck out of Dodge. That's terrifying. Look where they put them. All right, so that was pretty much the video, right? So, relying on mobile technology and big data, the Chinese government uses color-based health code system to control people's movement and curb the spread of the virus. People in many Chinese cities must present a green health QR code to ride public transport, enter venues including shopping malls, gyms, and restaurants. The system logs their whereabouts and whether they have been in contact with a confirmed COVID-19 case.
This is what they've been wanting to do since the beginning.
I know. That's what they want to do over here.
Yeah, when I say they,
fucking Canada.
I mean everybody, but I wanted to talk about this a couple weeks ago. Some dude at work told me about these So can you function in China without a smartphone?
I guess not, dude.
Like, can you move about?
Lockdowns have become common in the country, with the public growing increasingly frustrated. Last week, more than 80,000 tourists were stranded in the popular resort island of Hainan after authorities announced lockdown measures to stem an outbreak of the virus. I mean, they were locked down in a resort. I mean, it can't be that bad.
Unless they had a serial killer there. That would make an excellent Chinese Netflix movie. 80,000 people locked down at a private resort in China, and you have a serial killer on the loose. That's fucking movie gold. Netflix, give me a call. I'll fix you up.
Edward Benet's nephew. Get a hold of Dusty ASAP.
The Shanghai Ripper. I think this is what Canada wants, or has been trying to do. They've done with some success. The United States, I don't know if it could ever really happen here because of it keeps getting shot down by like federal judges and Supreme Court and shit like that, and the Constitution. And it would take literally getting rid of like all the conservatives to make it happen here. I think. I don't think we're that far off from it though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think certain cities here got pretty fucking close, like Portland, LA, San Fran, New York. They got close to having, it wasn't like to function, but it was to like do the finer things in life, go out to eat in fancy restaurants, go to concerts. Some cities, I think, had it on public transit, but
yeah. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I don't like to go to none of that shit. So I would have been good.
You don't like to wine and dine?
Fuck no. I think it's the biggest waste of money ever.
Yeah, but you get blowjob later.
I've worked in restaurants and I know how I've seen behind the curtain, bro. I've seen behind the curtain.
Well, you are part of my psyche that when I can't sleep at night, you go piss in fucking soup at fancy restaurants.
That's right. That's right.
Well, man, I mean, like Nancy Pelosi said, China is one of the freest countries in the world. Did you see what she said that?
No.
She fucking said that on Good Morning America. But hey, let me find it, okay? I'll find it. I think that's worth sharing. Don't you?
Oh, yeah. Nancy Pelosi's one of the dumbest bitches in the world.
This is when she's never been our establishment cunt of the week. This is after she got back from Taiwan and she was getting some heat from both sides. She went on Good Morning America. I think it was last week.
Why was it important to make this trip now?
Well, the fact is we were supposed to make it a couple of months ago, but because of COVID, it was postponed.
Dude, that's not really Pelosi.
As well as
I want to see her without the mask.
Krishnamurthy. Of attention
Look at
was
the nose.
paid to Taiwan, and that's right. But it was a bigger visit than that. It followed on the president's direction that we would have a focus on the Asia Pacific. It also took up his initiative of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. We thanked the members of ASEAN and our Asian friends for their very strong support for the people of Ukraine and condemning Russia for their invasion. In all of the places that we brought our respect and to listen to what they had to say about how we go forward, security-wise, economic.
I haven't seen all this. She is fucking having a hard time here.
Well, let me just jump in here
because a part of that trip.
Yes, and only because time is short, I really want to make sure we get into this because there are reasons to take a trip like that. But as you well know, especially with foreign policy, national security, it often comes down to trade-offs and timing. Was it worth it now that you see the response? China has taken
absolutely without any question.
Okay, because China has made a series of
she acts like she's coked out.
Military moves in
she's
Taiwan.
on something.
I mean,
she's probably got some fresh
unprecedented in
adrenochrome.
terms of the security of Taiwan. Was it worth it to make this trip now if that was the response from China?
I have overwhelming bipartisan support for our visit to Taiwan. As Speaker of the House and with the distinguished delegation that I went there with, we were very well received, thousands of people in the streets, received by the President of Taiwan, buildings with big welcoming to us. The people of Taiwan welcomed the visit. The Chinese government may not have, but China will not be allowed to isolate Taiwan. They may say to them, you can't go to the World Health Organization, but they're not going to say who can go to Taiwan. And yes, it was worth it. And what the Chinese are doing is what they usually do.
Was it not foreseeable that they would react this way? And on the issue of timing, this comes at the very moment that the Biden administration is trying to work with China to hold off China from rearming Putin in Ukraine. So as you well know, there are multiple levels of chess here. So the question is whether a symbolic trip, important as it may be, in any way undermines some of those other also quite important objectives that the administration has.
Listen, you cunt. How dare you ask me
appeared
that?
to be symbolic to you, but it was very substantial to us, for us to listen to the people in the region about our full agenda, but also not to say we're not going to Taiwan because the Chinese may act up. The president, as is his responsibility, is usually in touch with the Chinese about one thing or another, whether it's climate, and I think we have to work with China on the subject of climate.
They have closed dialogue on that since your visit. I guess that's the point.
What dialogue were you aware of that they were having on climate? They have been shutting down on many things. So again, this thing of, oh, but they were going to be doing this and they were going to be doing that. Let's just say this is not something that should be dividing us. So again, there's something wrong with this picture. And I'm used to taking the barbs about the men think it's this or that, but a woman goes, and it's a woman president of Taiwan. We are so proud of her. We want to support her courage. And every place I went, we were invited to go. So it is a question of what they think is important to them, rather than some, again, a very strong bipartisan support for the trip. Yeah. But you know what? Why don't we just show China that we support Taiwan? It is part of the Taiwan Relations Act. We didn't go there to change our policy. We still support the One China policy. We go there to acknowledge the status quo is what our policy is. There was nothing disruptive about that. It was only about saying China is one of the freest societies in the world. Don't take it from me. That's from Freedom House.
Let's talk a little bit.
Democracy, courageous people, and it's just, I don't know why it is, except there's some commercial interest who would like to diminish the relationship. But we're very, well, tomorrow we'll have a press conference. You'll hear from my other members.
I think she called Taiwan China.
We took in going there.
She did. I think she was trying to say Taiwan and she said China. I actually heard Dave Smith say that and I totally forgot about it till just
Which would probably piss them off even more.
Right.
If we're just being honest.
How can you say everything she said? And it's Biden does the same thing on this issue. You could say all that stuff and then say, but we still support a one China policy. You either do or you don't. If you're acting like you support a one China policy, you don't go to Taiwan. You don't say all this shit.
Because they don't. I don't know what the fuck they support, to be honest with you. They confuse the fuck out of me, man. But yeah, China, man. I don't know. Fuck that shit. God, I couldn't imagine living in a country like that. Oh my God.
You don't want to show your QR code, but you don't want to go out to eat.
Yeah, true. I wouldn't, but fuck, man. Like public transit or go to the store, go buy some groceries.
Not get locked up to death in IKEA.
I know you were near the bathroom department. There was a guy with COVID 10 feet away from you. You're going to stay in that bathroom spot for 2 days. What?
Wait till they get monkeypox in China.
Oh God.
They're going to be buying all the Band-Aids up.
They'll just kill all the monkeys. I've heard, like, in the big cities, like, the government has a lot of control. in like them super cities they built and shit. But like on the outskirts and stuff, like a whole different thing. And then like also in those cities, they all have like underground. They have like, they do like nightclubs and shit. They go like out and do these nightclubs and shit. And it's all like kind of like underground, and they use like VPNs and shit to use the internet. And it's fucking crazy, dude. But yeah, so just be thankful you live in America, motherfuckers. You ungrateful fucks, like my children, ungrateful fucks.
Gaslighting Dusty all day long.
God, dude, I swear to God. I used to think that was bullshit. I'm like, gaslighting, whatever. Oh, no. Oh, it's real. It's fucking real, Kobe.
Typically,
real.
It's something that husbands do to wives, but Dusty's kids have been gaslighting him.
It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, serious. I told him today, I said, motherfucker, I ain't that high. I don't smoke that much weed. I'm serious. Do you have a hard time getting an erection? That's right. I know. It's terrible when you discover that you have erectile dysfunction. But boy, do we have the drug for you. Gay porn. Gay porn will have you hard as a rock. Gay porn will have you fucking like a champ. All you have to do is subscribe to Gay porn, and you'll get a monthly subscription delivered discreetly to your email. Gay porn, what's right for you, may cause anal bleeding, monkeypox, anal fissures.
Gay porn, gay porn. Everybody's talking about gay porn, gay porn, gay porn.
After days of silence, Attorney General Merrick Garland announced he wants to make the Mar-a-Lago search warrant public and submitted a request to a federal court to release it. Former President Trump says he wants the documents to be made public immediately, even though he could release them himself at any time.
The search of the Florida estate sparked outrage from Trump loyalists. The violent rhetoric that followed may have inspired an attack on a Cincinnati FBI office Thursday. We're going to bring you different angles this morning on the stories surrounding the unprecedented search of former President Trump's residence at Mar-a-Lago. We're going to hear the latest on the FBI search warrant and learn more about the man that tried to storm that FBI office in Cincinnati.
We'll start with NPR Justice correspondent Ryan Lucas. He joins us now. Hi, Ryan.
Good morning, Lila.
So, days of silence and Attorney General Garland speaks. What did he say yesterday?
So this was a very considered statement from Garland before the cameras. Worth noting that he didn't take any questions, but he did say that he personally approved the decision to seek the search warrant of Mar-a-Lago. He said it was not a decision that was made lightly. Of course, it's a decision that was also approved ultimately by a federal judge who had to sign off on the warrant. But importantly, Garland said the department, as you said, is now asking a federal court in Florida to unseal the search warrant and the property receipt, which is basically a list of what was seized. And Garland, in his understated way, pointedly noted, as you did, that a copy of both of those documents were given as required by law to Trump's lawyers the day of the search, and Trump could have made those public. Clearly, he has not done so. Now the Justice Department is asking to unseal them, although it has given Trump the opportunity to object to the release. Overnight, though, Trump said on social media that he does not oppose that happening.
Okay, so if these documents, the search warrant, the property receipt are released, what could we, the public, learn from them?
Well, the warrant would usually say what crimes the FBI is investigating. The property receipt, which is kind of like an inventory, will give us a list of what the agents found at Mar-a-Lago. It probably won't be in great detail. It won't be page by page or anything, but it will give the public a general idea of what was found. And remember, in this case, we know that the Justice Department is investigating what the National Archives had said is the discovery of classified documents that ended up at Mar-a-Lago after Trump left office. But we don't know exactly what the FBI was searching for there. So if the warrant and this inventory are released, we'll have a much clearer sense of what this is all about. It won't be perfect clarity, but certainly better.
Now, the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago on Monday, and it wasn't until yesterday, Thursday afternoon, that Garland spoke. Why now?
Well, there's been a ton of public attention on this search at Mar-a-Lago. It was unprecedented, as you said, for the FBI to do this, to carry out a court-authorized search of a former president's home. Garland acknowledged, as I said, that it was a weighty decision for him to make, and he did kind of address the why now. Let's take a listen.
The department filed the motion to make public the warrant and receipt in light of the former president's public confirmation of the search, the surrounding circumstances, and the substantial public interest in this matter.
Now, Garland is very much a by-the-book kind of guy, and he said, look, the Justice Department speaks through court filings and in court. Often that means that the Justice Department can't say anything about an ongoing investigation. But in this case, as you heard him say there, Trump is the one who confirmed this search to the public. There's great interest in this Mar-a-Lago search, and the department can talk about it by unsealing these documents, and it's going to do it all in a by-the-book kind of way.
Now, Trump has denounced this search at Mar-a-Lago, and many of his Republican allies have slammed the FBI and the Justice Department. How did Garland push back against this?
So Garland talked about what he called unfounded attacks on the professionalism of FBI agents and federal prosecutors. And he defended both the FBI and the Justice Department. He said the people who work there are patriotic public servants. FBI Director Christopher Wray had a similar message in a statement that he put out as well yesterday. He said such attacks on the FBI's integrity chip away at respect for the rule of law. And he noted the violent threats against law enforcement and how much of a concern that is.
NPR's Ryan Lucas, thanks so much.
Thank you.
As we just heard, the Attorney General used his public statement to defend the integrity and professionalism of the FBI, which has come under fierce criticism from supporters of Trump.
And as he was condemning violent threats against the agency, FBI agents and local police in Cincinnati were responding to an attempted attack on an FBI office.
NPR's Tom Dreisbach is following this story and joins us now with the latest. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what do we know about what happened?
Well, NPR has confirmed with law enforcement sources that the suspect's name here is Ricky Schiffer. Records indicate he's 42 years old. Now, according to the FBI, he was armed when he tried to enter this FBI building in Cincinnati. An alarm went off in the visitor screening center. FBI special agents responded. The man then fled. The Ohio State Highway Patrol said he was driving a Ford Crown Victoria. There was a chase. Eventually, they came to a stop by the side of the road in a rural area. Gunmen shot at the police and took cover behind the car. For about the next 6 hours, there was a standoff, unsuccessful attempts at negotiation. And then in the afternoon, police claimed that he raised a gun. Police then shot and killed him.
Now, we've seen a lot of this violent rhetoric that's been going on for the past few days. But what do we know, if anything, about what motivated him?
That's right. It's still very early, but there are some possible indications. There are social media accounts under his name, though he can't independently confirm they belong to him, but they indicate that he was with pro-Trump protesters outside the Capitol during the attack on January 6th, though he has not been charged in connection with the riot. Since the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago this week, this account posted many times on the Trump-backed social media site Truth Social. And not long after Schiffer was identified in this incident yesterday, the account was deactivated. But we were able to get screenshots of many of the posts these accounts sent.
Okay, so social media accounts that are under his name, what else did they say?
Well, this account on Truth Social indicated specifically he wanted to cause violence in response to the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. It said, quote, "I am proposing war," and, quote, "kill the FBI on sight." He compared the FBI to the Gestapo, the Nazi secret police. He referenced other motivations, including the Alex Jones defamation case, that Steve Bannon, White House advisor, might go to jail for contempt of Congress.
You're just packing it all together.
He said that, quote, 1776 was for far less. And shortly after the attack on the FBI office, this account posted, "I thought I had a way through bulletproof glass, and I didn't. If you don't hear from me, it's true. I tried attacking the FBI."
Kind of a confession if these belong to him. Where does this fit in with some of the violent and extremist rhetoric we've seen?
Just a little asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, this week I happened to be speaking with extremism researchers about what they're seeing, and it's a lot of similar talk about arming up, another civil war. It's very similar, they say, to what we saw just before January 6th. And it's not just from the fringe. Steve Bannon, that former White House advisor, went on Alex Jones' show and compared the FBI to the Gestapo. He said, without any apparent basis, that the government might be planning to kill Trump.
I do not think it's beyond this administrative state and their deep state apparatus to actually try to work on the assassination of President Trump.
Bannon said it was time for action. He specifically said not to be violent. But before yesterday's attack, I spoke with Alex Friedfeld of the Anti-Defamation League. He said Bannon was playing a dangerous game.
When you tell a story like that of the other side being willing to go to any length to harm the country, they're essentially laying the dots out there for their listeners to connect. And when you connect those dots, it becomes far more plausible to use violence.
Now, Steve Bannon told NPR in a statement that his show's mantra is, quote, investigate, litigate, incarcerate. He said there is no reason or place for violence as we have the votes and the political muscle to win elections.
NPR's Tom Dreisbach, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, so
There's a lot to unpack in there, isn't there?
yeah, there's not 10 people that's like, you know what, we're starting a civil war. No, and they're wearing masks. It's like Cheney said earlier. If they're wearing fucking masks, they're fucking actors. If they don't want to show their face, then they aren't who they say they are. So you know how I'm always saying they're trying to turn Trump's base into terrorists. All right.
Yeah, there's no better fucking blueprint than what they just said in those two stories.
This is just another thing that they're doing to try to cement that. They can't quite get it with the January 6th hearing. Oh, if you can now say, oh, well, fuck, look, Trump's supporters are attacking the FBI. I mean, come on, man. You know what's going to happen. You know what this is leading to, bro. I mean, these idiots are standing out in front of the fucking FBI headquarters with fucking AR-15s with masks on and shit, fucking Trump flags and just crazy shit. And it's like, it's not like it's 1,000 of them. It's not like it's 200 of them. It's not like it's like 10 of them. It's the weirdest fucking
Where's that
thing.
going on?
I've seen it like a couple of places it showed it, like where these people are protesting in front of fucking they're armed protesters in front of the FBI. This guy who fucking what? He was gonna go take on the entire fucking FBI by himself. What a plan! What a plan!
How convenient is it that in the middle of his plan, he stops and gets on his whatever. Oh shit! I thought I'd be. You remember what they said that he said? I thought that I was going to be able to get through the bulletproof glass. I was wrong. If you read this, it's right. I tried to take on the FBI or something like that. It's like, who the fuck really would do that?
What's funny is if you probably look at the time of the text messages and when the shootout was happening, he was like
selfies.
No, he was trying to send a message. He's like, well, bulletproof glass didn't work. Shit. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah.
Pow, pow, pow. Do you expect anybody to believe this fucking bullshit? Like, for real, does anyone expect anyone to believe it? Like, okay, I'm going to go take on the entire fucking FBI by myself. Get the fuck out of here.
It was one office.
But okay, one entire, whatever.
It's not like he went to Langley. So,
I don't even think he could take on one FBI agent, let alone an office full of them.
Dude, you know what the funniest part is? To me, how hard would it be if you have the NPR apparatus behind you to verify that those are his fucking social media accounts?
No,
we can't verify it, but this is what they said.
Social media account.
Yeah, and they mentioned it twice. Well, if that really is his social media, this is super sad. It's like, I think we should be concerned. Like, dude, of course they're not his. It would be easy to verify that. They would be able to do that within an hour.
It's like that dope ass fucking Buffalo manifesto where he did not use the N word.
Well, dude, why is NPR the only one talking about this? I haven't heard this story anywhere else.
No, I've heard it other places.
So I've
seen it on CNN. Okay. Yeah, I've seen like a news report for CNN about it. I've seen it.
But they killed this guy.
Yes, they're trying to make it sound like an extremist thing, and they're relating it back to the whole Trump FBI Mar-a-Lago raid, all that bullshit. I'm telling you, dude, this is just the next step in trying to turn label Trump's base as a terrorist group.
And that's why I picked this story, because it's something we always talk about. But,
dude, if they can label him as a terrorist, holy fuck, dude, think about it. Every candidate that he's endorsed would be considered a terrorist.
They already try to say that, though.
No, but if they can actually label Trump and his base a terrorist organization, if they could literally get the FBI and the fucking CIA to label them as an extremist group, a terrorist organization, actually give them that label, like they do Al Qaeda or the Taliban.
They all have domestic terrorist divisions of their offices now. Oh,
I know.
So I think it's a done deal. And let's go back to the first story. Did you notice that the fucking NPR is really taken up for the FBI? They're like, only people who are extreme Trump supporters would dare question the integrity of the FBI.
Oh, I know, right?
Merrick Garland said the same thing. He's like, I will not stand by why people... Dude, those motherfuckers shot Martin Luther King Jr. They fucking set up the goddamn Gretchen Whitmer thing.
They shot Malcolm X.
Probably.
They did. The two guys got fucking exonerated not just recently. Me and Cheney talked about it.
FBI?
Like that shit. Yeah, the CIA or the FBI.
I thought it was the CIA.
One of the two.
But the FBI
it might have been the CIA,
definitely killed MLK.
Usually the CIA back then, the CIA was more of an out of the country.
That was the way it was
thing.
supposed to be. But
yeah, nowadays they got so many offices, even the FBI, they're all over the world.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what this is all about. I think you and I, we spout this shit from the rooftops every week.
If you're listening to this, guys, and I mean, I don't know if if you're a Trump supporter, if you're a whatever, I don't care. I have like I said, it's indifferent to me because it's like picking the best devil.
I want to cut in right now and say, if you support any politician, you need to pull your head out of your ass, whether Dusty says so or not. I think you're dumb.
Well, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
Yes, no, I do. I appreciate your opinion. I don't share it.
It's not worth whatever is happening here with us as a country. It's not worth a possible civil war. And don't be a fool. Don't think that you can go and take on the government, dude. I mean, come on. I get it. Maybe if you could get 1 million people together or something, armed to the teeth, then you could fucking take them on.
Is that a suggestion?
And that's a might.
Is that a suggestion?
We should all arm ourselves with dildos, and we should just run into the Capitol. Lindsey Graham will love it.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham will be like, I'm next.
Love it. Love it.
Dude, I can't...
be like, please do me.
I'm kind of surprised that our last episode didn't get pulled off YouTube. Maybe it will. I think it's the raunchiest one we've done so far in a lot of ways.
Well, this just got raunchy.
What's up with this shirt? I've been seeing it on Twitter all over the place. The Knights Templar shit. Is that coming back? That's Knights Templar, right?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, that is.
Why is that like a thing now? I see it on Twitter advertised all the time.
Oh,
it's Trump. He's the Knights Templar. It makes sense, everybody.
You know what I noticed a lot back over the last, I want to say probably the last couple of years. You'll see a lot of military gear, civilian military gear advertisements on things, and it's I'm talking dude,
gearing us up for Civil War Part 2.
It's they're issuing you uniforms that you don't even realize.
Civil War Part 2, sponsored by Sheath Underwear. When you're killing your brother and stabbing your sister in the face, you want to have your balls separate from your legs. What do you like this guy, dude? I don't like him.
Fuck no, I don't
think
like
he's a
this
smug
guy.
cunt. We got to save him for establishment down the road.
Oh yeah, he's an establishment piece of shit for real.
Dude, he looks like the actor Crispin Glover. He's the dad in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, he does.
Mainstream press reports the lie. Big tech amplifies the lie. So the country, though, the good news is they've figured it out. And I'll tell you who else has figured it out. 14 FBI agents have come to our office as whistleblowers. And they are good people. There are lots of good people in the FBI. It's the top that's the problem.
The guy in the middle fucks small animals for sure.
Yeah, dead animals. Small dead animals.
God bless him for doing
I don't like it when they wiggle.
The school board issue about a whole host of issues. And I would point out, Laura, that we now have had 6 agents come forward as whistleblowers. 2 on the school board's narrative, on the school board's issue, and 4 now regarding January 6th.
Crispin Glover, I will never look at you the same.
What's funny is didn't Trump appoint Christopher Wray to the FBI?
That's hilarious. They're working together. Look at that bags under that fucker's eyes. Jesus. I thought mine were bad. He's been our pick of the week. Hey, Hunter.
Hello, Hunter.
Got any dick pics from me?
but I got some cocaine. So yeah, apparently there's all these whistleblowers from the FBI, but he can name no one. That bitch, then nobody's saying anything. Anonymous sources.
So whistleblower, and the whistle doesn't work. So he just says that they're whistleblowers.
That's what it is. Get the fuck out of here. I'm telling you right now, I hope these Democrats know what they're doing, because come November, all these fucking Trump endorsed fucking candidates that are getting elected are gonna go after if they take the House and Senate, they're gonna go after them like crazy, dude. Everybody,
who are they going to go after in particular, do you think?
Oh man,
Merrick Garland?
Probably they'll go. I think they're going to go after a lot of people. Actually, not the establishment rhinos. I'm talking about like the fucking people that these endorse, like, because there's a lot of them, dude. There's a lot of these fucking Trump endorsed people.
But do you remember we were trying to make sense of who he endorses,
how he picked them? Yeah,
and oftentimes he fucking picks the people that didn't back him up on January 6th and fucking like flakes out on the people that were supporting him. So I honestly, dude, I mean, Tommy G's been saying this a lot lately, and I kind of agree. I've always kind of agreed that he's an establishment Democrat, just like fucking AOC is an establishment Republican, and they're like moles embedded deep on the other side to just bring it down. But then you get even deeper and you think there's only one party. It's WWF. Who the fuck's Vince McMahon? I don't know who's pulling all these strings, but dude, Trump, there's so much we could say about it.
I know.
This is why our show's not very big, dude, because we fucking alienate everybody on both sides.
I know. But see, like, this is where I have a biggest problem is I can't imagine us going to fucking civil war over Trump or Biden. It's just like,
dude, people
really?
are fucking retarded enough too. Like, look at the
Twitterscape
this last week. It's just fucking like all of a sudden everybody's a Trump supporter again, all because of this raid.
It can't be a coincidence.
It's by design, man.
I'm sure it's by design, bro. Like,
big show.
Everything is just dude, something big is going on. They're taking their eyes off of something big. Like we always say, it's a distraction.
Well, the fucking IRS is going to be like the fucking new police force. That's big.
I know.
We talked about that last week.
That's a lot of fucking. That's 87,000. God damn, the FBI don't have 87,000.
That is like a huge increase, but their budget is even the bigger issue. It's 12 times 80 billion.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what you said last week too. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, there's a lot of things going on right now to distract from. For example, the CDC has just basically said, yeah, we were wrong all along, and all those people getting deplatformed, we agree with them now. There's no difference between vaccinated and unvaccinated. You don't need to quarantine anymore when you come into contact with people. My second story tonight is about Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh my goodness.
And Dusty, I think
so
that
sexy.
Since you and I met, I've been trying to tell you from day one that bitch is establishment.
Oh, I want her to be.
So you didn't hear about this until I told you on the phone earlier, right? About her filling in for Tucker.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard that. I would have watched it.
Well, what I'm going to show you is the only free clip. Tucker's kind of exclusive. You got to like subscribe to Fox to get all his shit, but they did release a free one. It's so funny that I wanted to cover this, and the thing that she's talking about was tied into my first story. So sorry if it's a little redundant, folks. And yes, like Tucker often is, she's on the right side of this, but I think that we need to peel back the layers. So we'll watch it and then we'll talk about it.
Now, whatever your views are on Donald Trump, there's no denying that the unprecedented raid on his Palm Beach home earlier this week has set our country on a dangerous new course. And there's no turning back. The FBI's raid on Mar-a-Lago changed the country that we grew up in. We grew up believing that, our government will apply the law equally to all Americans, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. We're seeing more and more that country no longer exists. Law enforcement at the highest levels of government, whether it's the DOJ, the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and now even the IRS, have been weaponized to target the political opponents of the Uniparty, the permanent Washington, and the Biden regime. Attorney General Merrick Garland has already issued a stark warning to anyone who dares to disagree with these tactics that are all hallmarks of a dictatorship.
Let me address recent unfounded attacks on the professionalism of the FBI and Justice Department agents and prosecutors. I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked.
Yeah.
So you are not allowed to disagree with the FBI. That is the new message. The security state will label you an extremist for daring to challenge or disagree with the regime's weaponization of law enforcement.
They talk about defending the blue. They talk about defending law enforcement officers. They fly the flags. They put on the bumper stickers. And yet, if it doesn't suit their political purposes, then they remain silent or even attack law enforcement officers. The senator talked about the FBI's attack on our constitutional republic. Another Republican senator accused them of being a third world Marxist dictators. And yet, the silence is deafening.
These guys aren't Republicans, Joe. These guys are extremists.
They really should define extremists better. I mean, because that's a really broad term if you think about it. I mean, anybody could be an extremist. You could be like a fucking obsessed with, I don't know, you could be obsessed with strawberries. You could be an extreme strawberry. You could be extreme veganist. I mean, you could be an extreme masturbator.
Nudist.
Or extreme nudist. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could be an extremist as anything. I mean,
dude, I'm an extreme anarchist. I think all our problems would be solved if we just dissolved government. That's extreme. I don't back away from that.
Our government, dude, they have definitely become like
hey, is it fair to say that our government has gone extreme? They're extremists.
They're extremists. You ain't lying.
They're the ones causing all the shit.
Bro, when the dude stands up there and says, I will not stand for you saying bad things about the FBI.
That makes
what
you
is
a
that?
terrorist chutzpah right off the bat. Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Dude, and what a cuck beta bitch Merrick Garland is. Just like the entire Obama. Whoops. Freudian slip. Biden administration.
Bro, he's got a big... He hates the fucking... Now, Merrick Garland... You know, he was the guy that
he was supposed to be Supreme Court.
Yeah.
He got passed over because Obama was Obama bent his knee to McConnell saying it's so close to the next president. You shouldn't. And dude, they could have just done that. The Democrats could have done that. Trump did.
They could have done it. Yeah, they easily could have done it. And he let them not even interview the guy. I think Merrick Garland has a score to settle. I think he has a score to settle.
Dude, he's got more power as the attorney general than he does one ninth of a Supreme Court decision.
You ain't lying. He's
like
the biggest lawman in the land.
He kind of like came out on top of getting fucked in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, he's such. It's like what's Anthony Blinken? All these guys are beta cucks, and he's like, how dare you? I respect the FBI's integrity. So where do you start on Tulsi Gabbard going from being a goddamn Bernie backer, going to war with the Clintons, to pretty much dropping out of the Democratic Party? And now, I mean, she's gone on Tucker's show as a guest several times, but filling in as a fucking host, that's no small move.
Well, she says she was getting in the media and she's doing a podcast. And I mean,
She has a podcast?
She has a media face, if you ask me. She looks like a correspondent.
Dude, her eyes are dead, man. I think they got her. I mean, she's CFR. She's a 5-termer. Dude, I liked her for a while. I gave her money twice because I wanted to hear her fucking goddamn voice about anti.
But is it possible? That she got blackballed? Because that is possible.
She did.
It is possible.
She did get blackballed. She did. In the Democratic Party, she got blackballed. No, this is the interim between her being a Democrat and her. We've talked about her running against Kamala just because they kind of set it up that way in those Democratic primaries, but
she'll destroy Kamala.
I don't think it's going to happen, man. I mean, you think that she gets her own show on Fox?
I mean, the money would probably be better. I'll be honest with you, but
I think she could garner a lot of support if she like gets all conservative on her show on Fox. She'd be like the Fox News Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
And then she could get some
a
money.
lot less lesbian, but yeah.
True, but you wouldn't want to have a lesbian on Fox. You wanted to have somebody that would do Kegels on
I
your
don't know.
dick.
I love lesbians.
Who doesn't? Christians. That's about it. I think that this is interesting. I never predicted this for Tulsi to be a Fox News correspondent.
Hey man, it's the real big time way to get your name out there.
Yeah.
But to conservatives especially.
And she's already kind of been doing that.
You can make them fall in love with you, bro. I mean, I think she could. She's got the personality. I think I've
fallen in and out of love with her already. You can't forget also who's the person that gives people platforms every time they become famous. I heard her on Joe Rogan several years ago. And I already knew who she was because she fucking stood firmly with Bernie when Hillary fucked him. She was like part of the DNC and she dropped out and stood by Bernie, called out Donna Brazil and all that shit. That's how she kind of garnered some fucking support and like got a name for herself. But then she went on Joe Rogan like a year later and became a household name in politics. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. You could say whatever else you want before we move on to your next one.
One of the things I remember very distinctive about her Rogan interview was how she talked about how being in Congress was like being in high school.
Yeah, they had the cliques.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that does not surprise me at all. Because any situation where there's a bunch of women, I don't give a fuck if, you know what, this is a Frank thing. Hold on.
I was just gonna fucking say, can Frank do this? Dude, you're in my head.
All right, look here. Let me tell you something over here, right? Women, my friend, women. All right, women. You could put a group of women anywhere. Anywhere. I'm not fucking around with you. It could be Christians. It could be conservatives. It could be fucking liberals. It doesn't matter. They could all be fucking witches. It don't matter. Next thing you know, they'll be forming little groups and shit. There'll be little cliques over here, little cliques over there. They'll be talking about syncing up on their periods and shit, talking about, look, we got to have brunch together tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a mimosa. You know, we got to have a mimosa together because we're best friends. We love each other. And then they'll be talking about them bitches over there. Them fucking bitches. I fucking hate those bitches over there. They never vote with me. And you're like, what the fuck is going on over here? And then you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like gossip, gossip, gossip. Oh my God. She's doing this. She sucked his dick. She let him fuck her in the ass. Oh my goodness. Oh, that guy right there, he's really gay, but he's married to a woman. Hey, what the fuck is going on? Fucking gossip, gossip, gossip. Bitches, let me tell you something. You're out of high school, all right? You out of high school. That shit should end. You know what? I'll give you to college. But when you get out of college, that shit should end. But it doesn't. It never does. Women, anytime women are together, they gossiping about something. I don't give a fuck. Hand to God. Hand to God.
Frank, I think you have a point there, but what Tulsi was talking about wasn't just women, it was men and women.
Well, I said the men.
Okay.
I said the men, they're really gay.
I mean, Rand Paul and Lindsey Graham, I'm not surprised, but what do you think about Gavin Newsom? You think he takes a little dick?
Hey, Gavin, I'm a fan of yours. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm a big fan. You turned all of LA, then California into fucking Skid Row. Great job. You're doing a fantastic job. I love what you're doing, especially the way you're giving babies vaccinations. You're fucking genius. And your commercials, out of this world. I fucking love Gavin Newsom. The guy's got some, I don't know if you'd call it balls, but he's got something. Probably ovaries. You know what I'm saying? But he's got big ones.
It's got big old elephant testy-sized ovaries.
The man has ovaries the size of footballs.
Welcome to the suicide hotline. Have you been having Dark thoughts? Do you live in a world where you are alone? Did COVID-19 take you to the brink? Well, don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, call 1-800-MY-LAST-HOPE for a chance to talk to a computer voice who will talk you down from hanging yourself or shooting yourself or taking pills. Also listen to Disinfobation. You would never want to kill yourself if you listen to Disinfobation. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to CNN and reliable sources. CNN, where 2/3 of our network is contained in the word cunt. And this is Reliable Sources with Brian Stelter. And I just want to tell you that today we have a very special guest, somebody who's going to blow the whistle on the raid of the Lago of Morrow. So why don't you tell us, sir, you're anonymous. I'm going to call you Agent 1 just to be anonymous. And Agent 1, why don't you tell us the pain, the anguish, the terror you felt as you stormed Mar-a-Lago?
Brian.
Yes, that's my name. Keep going.
When we first entered the premises, I noticed to my left that Melania was naked.
Oh heavens, that's terrifying. Do tell more.
And then as we walked down through the corridor, I noticed there was a safe.
Oh heavens.
There was some other FBI agents who were I think they were planting evidence.
Oh, this is just terrifying. Planting evidence. So you're saying Trump was set up? Is that what I'm hearing here?
No, it was Trump planting evidence.
Oh, thank God. For a second there, I thought I was going to have to cut you off and go to commercial.
I don't want to tell anyone else about what's going on here, but I believe that Trump is planning to take over America.
Oh, my audience wants to hear more about that. Please do go on.
Trump has he's weaponized so many people.
Well, my network has covered extensively the damage that he did on January 6th and how he's rallied domestic terrorists.
Just don't talk about January 6th.
I
was there.
I'm sorry.
There.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Agent 1, I apologize.
I was 2 blocks away. So, Brian, I'm still a little upset. I feel like I was being raped that day.
You and AOC both have made similar claims, and that is very interesting to me because I do think that people have made fun of this. I saw this obscure podcast called Disinfobation talking about how you had to have a 2,000-yard penis, and that is just not funny. I think those guys should be taken off the air. They are not a reliable source. Do continue.
I'm still traumatized from January 6th. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yes, let's get back to the topic at hand. Mar-a-Lago, do go.
Mar-a-Lago was quite an interesting development that we had. We went in at 0300 hours. By the time we got through the gate, it was around 7 p.m. Security checks. We found many classified documents, and they were very classified. We're documents.
Very curious about that here. Is there anything you can tell us about the classified nature of these documents? For example, could you give us a hint about what may have been contained in said documents?
There was UFOs.
Oh heavens.
There was nude pictures of Michelle Obama.
I don't want to talk about that because my listeners don't care about Michelle Obama's penis, but I do want to know, was there anything about nuclear codes? I have heard rumors about nuclear codes.
No, but there was a design for a nuclear weapon shaped like a dildo.
Oh, geez, that is terrifying.
Trump plans on sticking it up Biden's ass and detonating it.
I do not think that the world could handle such a catastrophe. I'm so glad that you guys have intervened. Get it together, man.
I know. We're really concerned because Biden might be anywhere in the world when that dildo is shoved up his ass, causing mass casualties, even possible World War III. He might be visiting Xi Jinping, and boom, we're all dead because of the nuke, a dildo nuke. Those are all classified documents that Trump took from the White House.
Now, my show is sponsored by Newsom Dildos. Could he perhaps use one of those to get said device in Biden's asshole? Is that a possibility? Newsom Dildos.
That I believe that might have been the brand.
Well, I have heard that Biden's butthole is the perfect conduit for a Newsom dildo. And now, from what I'm hearing from an anonymous FBI whistleblower, that has very much been affirmed here. So, reliable sources, once again, has just cracked the code. Newsom dildo, World War III, FBI. Yes, you've heard it here first, people. It's on. World War III is going to happen.
That's right. I saw in the classified documents that Trump stole from the White House. It's all there. You just got to look.
Have you guys ever considered actually killing President Trump? Because I did hear Steve Bannon say such a thing. Is this just ridiculous, or have you guys actually considered this?
Oh, never. I mean, we joke. I mean, we got an office. We have an office party where, I mean, like, we'll have a pool. Like, it's like, just joking around. Like, I would shoot President Trump for $10, and they're like, oh, I'd shoot him for 25. They're like, oh, I got 50 on it. It's nothing big. I mean, but we would never really do it.
I would never question the integrity of the FBI. Merrick Garland has told me not to do so, but is there anybody on
Merrick Garland won $50 on Kennedy. I mean,
don't worry, we will take that part out. This is a reliable sources here. We won't put that part in there. But I want to know, are there any agents on your team that would actually pay to shoot Donald Trump? Is there anybody that dedicated to the integrity of this country?
Merrick Garland.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first on the most reliable sources of unreliable channels, CNN, Content Networks. The FBI is on task, and we will continue to cover this story as more information has become available. Thank you, Agent One. We will talk to you again soon, I hope.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Wonderful.
And please continue the good work you have done for this country.
God bless America.
CNN, FBI, OUT, out, bitches.
Okay. Do you have a story? You have something?
I got one more, man. But I need you to pull it up because you can do Twitter on your computer. If you share your screen and play that, then we can riff off of it because this is so fucking strange, dude. I think we got to talk about it.
It is pretty strange. Let's see, rant.
Monica Perez and a bunch of people and I fucking got into a little tweet discussion about it today.
All right. Let's
and
see.
Guys, we want to give a huge shout out to Rained Out Rantcast. He's one of those people that Sam Tripoli's contest has gone after recently. And Mark, my family thinks I'm weird. I'll come on your fucking podcast any day, cunt.
That's right, motherfucker.
Yeah, should we tell our audience that you and I talk shit sometimes on Twitter and somebody emailed me or DM'd me about coming on their podcast?
We definitely should talk to our audience about that. What the fuck? We're nobodies, bro. And we can be somebody real quick.
Sam Tripoli's booker sent me a DM after you and I started recording, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, right when we just started recording, you were like shocked. You're like, "Whoa, dude!"
Yeah, because I replied or I commented on a tweet that Dusty left in a fucking thread from this guy who's a TikTok video we're about to watch. They're coming after him. They're coming after Occult Rejects, and I fucking just commented on that, and I got a direct message from Sam's booker, Mark, from the podcast My Family Thinks I'm Crazy, and he's calling me out for tagging him in tweets, which I've never done, and asks if I'd like to come discuss it. So we'll see how serious he is. I wrote.
We only tag each other, yo, bitches.
They're threatened, man. If they're sending me, I have like fucking less than 200 followers on Twitter, but I think he's bluffing, man. If he wants me to come on his podcast, I will gladly do it. We'll see. That's a developing story, but let's watch this video because this is fucking crazy. Chris from Rained Out Rantcast did this TikTok video, and for those of you,
one of the hardest working podcasters around, and he don't get nowhere near the fucking respect he deserves, dude. This guy's a hard worker. He really he knows his shit. Let's play it.
Apparently, Anne Heche was hospitalized in a coma after a car wreck, but then you start hearing some weird shit, like she was making a movie that's going to be out on Lifetime about sex trafficking. She goes to her barber to get a wig shortly after that. Okay, yeah, play it.
She's like running from the cops and shit.
These videos of Anne Heche
Oh my gosh.
are absolutely fucking crazy. She's fighting the EMTs when they're trying to put her in the. She's supposed to be unconscious, in a coma. And then she visited her hairstylist right before it and bought a wig. And he says that she.
It's not cut or styled. She says, no worries. I want it anyway. Did she appear in any way
Not-
inebriated or drunk or impaired? She did not. She wasn't slurring her words. She had
This,
a beautiful blue
her hairstylist,
sweet girl.
not drunk, not inebriated, didn't slur her speech or nothing.
Oh my God.
She was working on a movie a movie that's about to be released with her called Girl in Room 13, coming out in September on Lifetime. Look at this. They have her covered as she's dead, like she's dead. Her head is covered. There's not even oxygen on this lady. There's no
Creepy looking.
what's happening here? There's no oxygen that you would have an oxygen over. They have her head covered as if she is dead.
Look how fast they're
And
moving.
then she fights them.
From 6 days, 7 nights.
And when you look at it, as far as her body being burned, I mean,
And she's naked.
Yeah.
she fights them. Her head is fucking covered. They don't even have anything to pump oxygen into her body. You know, usually they have that that covers her mask and it's pumping. They don't even have that. Anyway, she had Girl in Room 13 coming out in September on Lifetime. And that is about human trafficking. This whole thing seems weird. Like Anne Heche may have gotten involved into something. Maybe she was going undercover herself or something with going and buying a red wig. You see her flying down alleyways before the crash like she's being chased. But the fact that they bring her out of this house, head covered, no breathing apparatus, nothing to give her oxygen, and then she sits up.
Yeah, they're like, get back down, Miss Heche.
This is weird.
That was wicked.
Is
dude.
there footage of the chase?
Dude, I haven't heard about any.
So she actually drove her car into a house?
That's what it said. That's what they said. Like, no, they said that she was weaving in and out of traffic like she was being chased by somebody. Now, okay, so it's weird that
This is awfully reminiscent of Isaac Cappy.
well, like I was listening to Dr. Drew recently, and he was talking about the different like mental things that happens when you use drugs. And he was talking about how people who do heroin, they'll usually steal from you. They'll usually, they're more lazy. They'll do about whatever it takes, but they don't normally get violent. People who do meth get violent.
Well, they got more energy.
Well, no, it's because it's weird. With meth, they start to think like their family is conspiring against them. Like they get it in their head like their family is conspiring against
My
them.
family thinks I'm
And
crazy.
That's why you'll have
I'm glad you got that.
that's why they'll have meth head killing their whole family and shit, right? All right, well, coke, people that do a lot of coke, they get paranoid and like think the cops are after them. They'll have like the blind shut. They'll be fucking freaking the fuck out, thinking like the police are after them. And like the cops, like he was talking about how like he would talk to these cops, and the cops would be like, dude, you could enter like a house and there'd be like meth heads, and all the meth heads would just be standing there like, whoa, dude, this guy over here's trying to fucking kill me, man. I'm so glad to see you guys. But the coke guys would be fucking running out the back door. You know what I'm saying?
I never get paranoid on coke.
Well, I don't know if it's like overused.
Meth,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I've done meth and I get paranoid as fuck when I'm on meth.
But like, so that's what he was saying though.
So is he talking?
She had
particularly
cocaine
about,
in her system.
Yeah, but they could just say that.
Well, true,
dude.
But I don't know. They're still releasing that movie. I don't know. I saw where they're still releasing the movie. So, it didn't stop anything.
Well, it's not the movie. And plus, I mean, let's not overlook the fact that this bitch dated Ellen DeGeneres for several years. I mean, that
is strange
to me. She probably knows some shit. She's like, dude, the only reason you go to your hairstylist and try to get a wig is if you're trying to fucking disguise yourself.
It's true. She could have been either really whacked out on coke and thinking like some crazy shit and needed a wig to hide herself, or she was really being chased. I mean, we don't know.
You know how I feel about Hollywood, and like it's one of my obsessions is like the child sex trafficking that goes on there and the sexual abuse and the people trying to blow the whistles always end up hanging from a doorknob. I think Anne Heche got Bourdain/Cornelled, but they couldn't get her near a doorknob, so they just had to fucking run her car into a house like Princess Diana. And
it's possible,
dude.
That bitch could have been radio controlled, bro.
The one thing that makes me think this is the fact that helicopter footage, if that shit's real, you don't cover somebody's face after they've been in a car accident. You're like,
unless they thought she, like I saw where they thought she was dead on arrival.
Bullshit, though.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
She's dead on arrival.
I have seen on like those like fucking.
And dude, you could still have coke in your system and still be fucking like doing something legit.
Right.
That shouldn't disqualify somebody. I'm not saying that she really had coke in her system, but if she did, she's a fucking celebrity, man. I'd be doing coke all the time if I could.
Oh yeah, I would too. If I was a rich celebrity. It's like,
Mom, I'm kidding. I only do it on holidays. Every day's a holiday though. I mean, when you're rich.
Indeed. Establishment cuck of the week, Nancy Pelosi. Hey, Nancy. She's the fucking devil. She's like 80-something years old. She's totally fucking been in office for like 30 fucking years. She's terrible. I don't believe that was her in Taiwanese. I think that was a fake one. It looked fake. She looked totally fake in that mask. I want to see her without the mask on. You know, I think it'd be funny. I think that was. I don't really think she has the ovaries to go over there. You know what I'm saying? I think she was afraid China was gonna blow her ass out of the sky, so she fucking sent a body double. What do you think?
Well, it's really hard for me to think that somebody who's in their 80s, who was around so long ago that they were taking Kennedy dick, and has any right to still be in government, let alone...
That's pretty impressive, though.
The Kennedy dick part?
Oh, yeah. I would take some Kennedy dick.
Like Tripoli always... But would you Marilyn Monroe it and be spit roasted by the Kennedy brothers?
Dude, I would drink Marilyn Monroe's bathwater.
I was asking if you would be Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, if I would let them both.
You said you would take some Kennedy dick. I was asking if you'd be spit roasted by the double K.
I don't know if I could be double teamed, dog. That'd be weird. Two men,
one down the throat and one's up the bad.
I'm not even a big fan of like two dudes on one girl porn. Like that's not even that. Like that's too much dick for me.
So you were just talking big game there. I mean, dude, there's so much you can say about Pelosi. Like her chocolate ice cream tour with what's the fucking fat British dude's name who does carpool karaoke? You know?
I know you're talking about.
He was interviewing her at the very beginning of COVID. She's like, look at my freezer. It's only a $60,000 freezer. We got all the chocolate ice cream you could need in a quarantine. And he's like, I knew, James Corbin, I knew you and I would get along splendidly.
James Corbin, dude, is so
He's like, let's get in the car and sing Queen together, Nancy. You can put chocolate ice cream right up my pooper. So anyway, that and then the fucking insider trading bullshit that her husband and her do. You know, like with the chip shit.
Oh, I know.
And now
So
she goes over to Taiwan and tries to start World War III. Like, dude, what a fucking cunt. She can't even hold still when like someone on liberal media is asking her some uncomfortable questions. She's like, hotels of the Crypt Keeper. You don't question me. I go to Taiwan because I said I got to go to Taiwan, and Joe Biden said I had bipartisan support.
When did y'all say something about those senators?
Dude, during Biden's State of the Union, she was like, she stood up. Jimmy Dore did a great video. She was like rubbing her knuckles together when he was talking about the burn pits. She was like, oh, she almost did a standing ovation when he's talking about the burn pits. She's out of it. She's almost as fucking demented as he is. She needs some adrenochrome. Okay, so that's my 10 cents on Nancy. You go, sir.
Oh my God, she's the epitome of what's wrong with our government. She is. She's like if you were to like have a poster child, it'd be her, Mitch McConnell, and Chuck Schumer, and like there's like
all the guys at the top.
Yeah, all these really old fucking people that are there, and you're just like, why are you still there?
And they're all white.
Yes, and goddamn, dude,
except for Obama, dude, they're all white.
They can't say, but Obama ain't the game no more, really. You
well,
know what I'm saying?
but he was right
he's
up
not
there
a
for
senator. He's not sitting he didn't sit
Dude,
in
he
a
got in
senator
young
seat for
and
40
got out.
years.
Like he retired. I mean, that motherfucker figured it out.
Yeah, he got in there. He was a senator for a few years, got elected president, and then fucking now he's all fucking making Netflix shit with fucking Michael.
Living
You know
living on the Martha's Vineyard while climate change looms ahead.
Yeah, I know, right? Taking private jets to the grocery store. I mean,
he hops on Tay Swift's jet sometimes, to be fair.
Right. Tay-Tay. Oh, hey, Tay-Tay. This is Obama here. I need a ride on your jet.
I need a jet, and I need to go to the grocery store. She's like, oh, I had a boyfriend break up with me. He kind of looked like you, Obama, but you can use my plane. Oh. So, yeah, there's that.
But, yeah. Okay, so anyone that sits that calls like someone a dictator, but then they a dictator. If you're a dictator,
I picture like a Kia Balsa sausage surrounded by mashed potatoes.
If you're a dictator, I mean, if you've sat in office for 30, 40 years, you can't say shit. Who doesn't want to fucking chill at like 80 something? I mean, God damn. Like, how can you even be functioning properly? My grandparents passed away when they were like 81 and 82. I'm going to tell you right now, they were pretty healthy up until about 78, 75 to 78, and it all went downhill from there. So I can't imagine someone running a country at 80 something years old. Like Dianne Feinstein's 89. Fucking Pelosi's like what, 82, 84 something.
She's up there. She's definitely in her early 80s.
That bitch is 2 steps away from could be president, for Christ's fucking
Yeah,
sake.
dude, if fucking something happened that took both Joe and Kamala out, she's what we get.
That's terrifying in so many ways. So, like, basically, our prime minister almost started World War III for shits and giggles to go get to take her son. Did you see that? She took her son over there, and her son is invested in some kind of chips or some shit.
That terrifies me that she has kids. I don't know why. It just really does.
Yeah, she
Imagine
took
the kind of mother she would be.
Isn't her husband named Paul?
The drunk driver?
Yeah. Because it was like Paul Pelosi Jr. or some shit that she took. Like, there's pictures of him there, and he's like he works for some kind of company that needs those chips from Taiwan.
Her son?
Yeah, and he was there, and they're like, "Why is he there?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
dude,
Paul is her husband, and you said the son's Paul Jr.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure it said. But this is disinfobation, so it could be a fucking total lie.
Let me just stick a little JR in the fucking search box right next to what I just did now. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. He is a shady business dealer. That's
Yes,
what's
he
coming up
is.
on my search box when I did DuckDuckGo, Pelosi Jr. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude,
As
I
usual,
think this
Dusty
bitch
was
nearly
right.
started World War III for fucking some money, basically. They didn't go to Taiwan to fucking come on, man. Let's just take a random trip to Taiwan.
Dude.
Right in the middle of fucking Russia invading Ukraine and the threat of China invading Taiwan. But let's visit there, just like we visited Ukraine. Get the fuck out.
Even that bitch on Good Morning America was bringing those points up. I was kind of surprised how hard she grilled her.
I know.
Pelosi
I was
like,
really surprised.
how dare you ask me those questions?
You fucking peasant.
And then, like,
if she would finish with
held her
peasants,
feet
it
to
would
the
round
fire.
out perfectly. If she'd finish with like, you fucking peasant. Well, how dare you fucking ask me those
what
questions?
She's like, you can't afford the chocolate ice cream that I eat during quarantine, cunt.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, dude, it's kind of surprising to me that this is our 14th episode and we haven't talked about Nancy Pelosi as the establishment cunt fuck of the week.
The United States put itself in this predicament by re-electing the same fucking people for fucking decades on decades. Who ever thought that was a good idea? I mean, really?
Only
I don't give a-
retards who vote.
Can you not think of a damn thing? Are there times that you just forget who you are? Well, you might have dementia. Well, guess what? We have the cure for you. It's called adrenochrome. That's right, adrenochrome. We take it out of the baby just as they die, just so you get that right hit of adrenochrome that can cure your dementia. Only temporary. Try adrenochrome now for free at 1-800-ADRENOCHROME.
Use one-time promotion code of Clinton Foundation to get 33.666% off your first purchase of adrenochrome.
That's right.
You got a rant?
Yeah, I got a rant.
All right. Well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Conspiracy community. Listen, guys, we are not here to fight each other. We are not here. You know what? It's not about who shows bigger or who agrees with what or who or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think it's probably part of the psyop. They want if they can divide us like they divided the entire country, then they're winning. They're winning. And we can't let them win. We have to figure out how to come back together as a community and stop this bullshit fighting, bickering amongst each other. You, Mr. My mom or dad or whatever the fuck thinks I'm crazy guy, Mark, whatever the fuck your last name is. Dude, if you want to fucking bring us on and you want to fucking debate, bro, we will go hard. We will go hard in the paint and we will fucking clean up with a towel when we're done disinfobating all over your fucking face. So if you want to bring it, bring it. You can even just bring Kobe. He'll take you down by himself. But if you want to really go fucking to the rails, bring us both on. Yeah, we made some fucking jokes. We never tagged you in shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything really to add to that. You just said it all. Yeah. Mark, your family thinks you're weird because you're a little cunt. All right. I kind of know what I want to talk about, but I don't, so it's going to be loose. 5. That's a good movie. 3, 2, 1. So today, Disinfobators, I want to talk about the FBI and the conservatives all of a sudden being aware that the FBI is dangerous. It took Trump being raided to see a lot of conservative backlash against the FBI, but I want to remind all you fucktards, the FBI has never been our friends. They've been doing fucked up shit for many years. We can point to the MLK assassination. We could talk about Waco. We could talk about Ruby Ridge. We could talk about all sorts of stuff. But let me tell you one thing right now. The FBI has and always was and always will be state-sanctioned criminal fucking mafia type armed shit with impunity. They can just bust your door down and charge you with anything at any time. And the fact they did it to Trump doesn't upset me any more than it does when they do it to regular citizens. All the ultra magatards are now invigorated again. It's all part of the plan. Just like you said.
That's right, bitches.
All part of the plan. All right. So, Dusty, my friend, you want to let the Disinfobators worldwide know where they can find your groovy little driblets of goodness.
You can, you can find me. You can find me at YouTruthcast on Twitter. You can find me at Disinfobation on Twitter. That's it.
I love when you bring out your WWF personality. As for me, you can find me at Conspiracy. You can find me at Conspiracy Player without an E in the word player. You can find my other podcast, Conspiracy Playtime, at conspiracyplaytime.com. We don't have anything new for you this week. I'm put up an episode with Jeremiah's dad talking about being a truck driver back in the 80s. It's pretty cool. I did this interview a while ago. I still need to edit it, but that's going to be up.
Does he have dementia?
Yeah.
That'd be real interesting.
He talks about it, actually. I got him on a good day, luckily.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would like to get him when he was on a bad day. Just talk about like he's stuck in 1927 or
It's
something.
not fun.
That'd be terrible, but it'd be a crazy interview.
Dude, you know the day that we did the Elon Musk interview?
Yeah.
In episode, he was here in my living room in a loop. We just kept waiting for him to walk in here, and then we did our interview with Monica Perez after that. I was like, oh god, and he's just gonna come walking in here with his dick in his hand or something. Yeah, that's where you can find me, ladies and gentlemen, and join us next week. Same time, same place, probably different time, different place.
All right, guys, and as always, fuck Spotify. Disinfobation out, motherfuckers.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Disinfobation.